Before deciding what type of bridge we were going to build, we had to look at the load we would be required to support. This involved determining the locations of most force that would be applied to the bridge, and then determining the thickness or strength requirement for the bridge. We also took into account the dimensions of the bridge, and designed the bridge based off the information we were given and recorded from our measurements. The next step was to decide the bridge type by outlining advantages and disadvantages of each.
The advantages of the Pratt Bridge is that the load is split between more members than the Warren Bridge. It can handle more concentrated loads more efficiently. The thinner or lighter materials can be used for the diagonal members. A Pratt truss includes vertical members and diagonals that slope down towards the center. Disadvantages of if the load is not vertically placed, the bridge strength is not maximized. The advantages of the Warren Bridge is that the constituents of the bridge can be assembled piecewise. It is also economical to build, which means every single member is used very efficiently. The strength of the bridge comes from formation of triangles. Disadvantages are more stress is put on the bridge over long periods of time. It is also a heavier design. The truss structure will undergo concentrated force under a point load. The advantages of the Sydney Harbour Bridge or Kotanga Bridge is that a variety of building materials can be used. The half-circle shape which it has prevents changes or distortions in the bridge due to bending, which makes it very strong. Disadvantages of it requires a long time to construct because of its complexity. It also requires more support than other common bridges.
After looking at the different options, we chose to select the Pratt Truss Bridge as our prototype design, as we saw it was a simple but effective choice for our aim in this project. When looking at the materials we were to use, we recorded both price and performance of a selection of different spaghetti brands. From this table it can be seen that Black & Gold Spaghetti, Barilla and Coles Blue came out on top as least costly. The performance testing results are shown here. They highlight that Black & Gold presented itself as the most reliable against compression and equaled the capability of San Remo to withstand shear force. Black & Gold also came second to Coles Blue in our tension testing. Based on these results, we chose to use Black & Gold as our choice of spaghetti.
Compression involves forces acting inwards on the force member, whereas tension refers to forces in the opposite direction. To evaluate the strength of spaghetti under tensile forces, a test involving clamping individual spaghetti strands to a vertically orientated stand whilst hanging a weight from it. The weight is progressively increased until the pasta strand breaks. The weight is recorded and this value represents the maximum tensile force that the individual strand can withstand before breaking. This test was repeated for each brand of pasta. To evaluate the strength of spaghetti under compressional forces, a vertical force was applied downwards to an individual spaghetti strand which was placed on top of a digital scale. The vertical force was progressively increased until the strand collapsed and the final reading on the scale was recorded. The higher the measurement on the scale, the better the stand can withstand compressional forces. This test was repeated for each brand of pasta. A shear test was undertaken to determine the maximum strain pasta can endure before it breaks. This test involves a strand of spaghetti being suspended between two platforms horizontally, with each end resting on a different platform. A weight was applied to the center of the strand, which was progressively increased until the strand collapsed. The maximum weight the strand could resist before it broke represented its maximal shear force it can tolerate.
We also measured the strength of the spaghetti strands when bundled together. Because of the greater cross-sectional area, the stress was reduced and the strength capacity increased. However, when added to the bridge design, these bundles, if made too thick, could add extra weight load to the bridge and have a negative effect. Our Pratt Bridge was successful in supporting the roadway and the car. However, the prototype was made slightly longer than the length of the support and had to be cut considerably to fit and then glued back together. This proved to weaken the bridge as cracking sounds originated from the cut sections. Our prototype bridge measured out to be 130 grams, which is over the allowed specifications. After being trimmed and the amount of glue reduced, we achieved a weight of 110 grams. This revealed to us that a more conservative approach with resources must be used for the final bridge. Overall, the prototype bridge revealed to us that our choice in bridge design was fruitful in that it supported the required loads. However, it also revealed the flaws in our bridge production in terms of its large mass and incorrect length. All these findings will be used to improve our final bridge design.
Created using Powtoon.